Hello and welcome to another Beardy David video and the first video of 2021. Bye bye 2020, good riddance. Hope you all had Happy New Year. Hope you all had a wonderful New Year. Hope you all had a lovely Christmas. Lauren and I and Minnie, we had a lovely little Christmas, just the three of us. It was very chill. It was just took our time with everything. Lunch was really good. It was the first time we've ever done Christmas lunch before. Quite impressed with ourselves that we managed to put it off quite successfully. And yeah, just in general, we had just a really relaxing time. We missed our families very, very much, but we made the best of it, and I hope you all did too. So to kick off 2021, the first video that I just had to do was just do a few New Year's resolutions and just a little bit of a chat about my channel, really. So with my resolutions, I think I've gone for 6. I haven't gone for anything too outrageous. Don't want to set the bar too high early on, and then come the end of January, I would have given up and just not bother with any of them. So let me share with you some of my resolutions. First resolution is I want to watch 100 new films. Now, last year I set the same target and I blew past it very quickly, but that was mainly because of me watching all of the Disneys. That really helped, because I hadn't seen about 20 to 30 of them, so that helped me knock out a big chunk of it. So last year I ended up watching a grand total of 238 films, and 145 of them were new films. It was amazing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a video very soon of some of my favourite films of last year, and maybe a couple of my least favourite films as well. And so I want to do the same this year by watching 100 new films. I didn't want to set the bar any higher because it might be different, because obviously with the furlough last year I wasn't working much, but I'm going to be working a lot more this year. So I was tempted to go for 150, but I thought no, because I'm going to have less time, so let's just stick with 100. And then I'll be keeping like a little monthly update of how I'm getting on with all of that in the future. And if you want to follow me on my journey of films, down below is my link to Letterboxd. That's an app where I record all of the movies that I have watched, old and new films, and just give a little star rating. And I kind of use that to make a little graphy, funky thing at the end of the month, which is my plan for this year. So my next resolution is I want to enjoy going on my bike. So towards the end of summer last year, I got myself a bike with the intention that when I started going back to work, that when I get dropped off into London, because I have to get the DLR to get to where I work, I was going to get a bike and I was going to cycle there instead. And it was a great idea and I was really excited, but I've only been into the office once, like all of last year since the whole COVID thing happened. So I've not had to use it. So I've not really had any motivation, because then winter came along, and then it got a bit dark and dreary and rainy, a bit like what it is today. So I've actually only ridden the bike 3 times since I've had it. It's awful. I've got all the gear, but no idea. And the 2 times that I did go out on it, it was a train wreck. I'd cycled around our just local area, and it's a bit hilly where we are. And so going down was absolutely fine, but trying to cycle back up was horrendous. I thought I was going to pass out. It was very near. I kind of just had to stop and like wait for a few minutes just to catch my breath. So I've been listening. I was listening to a new podcast called The Wedding Thinners, and then one of the guys. Actually, I will link them down below because it's a very good podcast. So if you're in the need of a new podcast, it's great. And one of the hosts on there was talking about how he bought a bike recently, and he just started going out and just cycling like literally like a quarter of a mile, and then he was all tuckered out and he had to stop. And he said he'd done that for a few days, and then all of a sudden he started to be able to cycle more and more. So that's my plan. So my plan is this year is that I want to start enjoying my bike and just going on long bike rides, because I used to love doing it as a kid. As I said, I've got all the gear ready. I've got a bike that's sitting in our little shed outside. So that's my plan. Even if I'm literally just like riding a quarter of a mile for the first week, just like round the block. And then hopefully, if eventually I will build up stamina and I'll build up strength with my legs again, and I'll start being able to go further and further, which would be lovely. So that's another one of my resolutions. Now my third one is a kitchen-based one, and it's be less obsessed with mess in the kitchen. Now I'm definitely not a clean freak. I'm definitely not. Sometimes we can be a bit lazy and leave it, but when it comes to mess in the kitchen, I'm just not very good with it. I'm very much so like, so Lauren, she will happily admit this, she is messy in the kitchen, and she will like spill and drips and drops everywhere and get flour everywhere, and and I just have to clear it up like straight away. Because so when Lauren cooks dinner, she leaves all the mess afterwards and then worries about it afterwards, or I clean it up. But when I cook, I have to clean as I go. And so this year, because, and more about this in a minute, but we want to get into making more of our own like breads, pizzas, pastas and stuff like that. And I'm really like, there's going to be a lot of flour and bits and pieces everywhere. So I'm just going to try and be less obsessed with it, because I can clean it up after, you know, I don't have to clean it there and then. I can do it afterwards. It's not going, you know, it's not going to do any damage to anyone, is it? So that, I think that might be one of my toughest ones. But that's what I really want to try and get better at this year, is just to not give a damn about the mess, because I can clear it up in a bit. And next on the list, sticking with the kitchen theme, I want to become a pizza making legend. Now for Christmas, Minnie and Lauren got me this amazing Pizza Pilgrim pizza book. I won't go into too much detail about it now, because I'll be doing a little bit of a video about what I got for Christmas book-wise. But basically, these guys, they run a small chain of pizza restaurants in London, and they just make the most delicious pizzas. And they brought out this book, and in the book, they talk about all the different types of like takeaway pizzas and pizzas you can make at home. And within that, I've also got a Pizza Pilgrim making home delivery kit. So that's coming this week, which I'll probably do a little video about it as well. And you get the dough and you get all the ingredients, you just stretch it out, shove them all on, put it in the oven, and you're guaranteed a couple of delicious pizzas. So we're really excited for that. And so from carrying on from that, because I'm actually becoming a pescatarian this year, or not becoming, I am now a pescatarian. I've decided I don't want to eat meat anymore. And so all the things like burgers and stuff, I can't eat anymore, like all the meaty burgers. So I need something to become my brand new favourite. And I love pizzas already, so let's just make them pizzas. Margherita pizza is one of my favourite pizzas. I don't like to pile the toppings high. I like to keep them basic with your marinara sauce, cheese, like mozzarella, bit of basil, done. And so I'm on a mission this year to become great at making pizzas. And so I think I'm going to make this into like a little YouTube series, probably something along the lines of Beardy Pizza. And where I'm gonna not only just be trying to make pizzas, but maybe I will try like different takeaway pizzas and compare them, and then see if I can like get to a point where my pizzas that I create is of a takeaway like quality. Because like the Pizza Pilgrim ones, if you've never had the chance to taste, and I'm sure everybody's got like a really cool, funky like pizza making place in their area nowadays, because there's hundreds of about. Pizza Pilgrim is one of the best. It's absolutely delicious, and I can't wait to like try and like make decent pizzas now, which see where it ties in with the mess, because that's going to be messy making all them pizzas. But yeah, fingers crossed that one really does pay. The penultimate one is reading. Now, as you all know, last year I set a challenge for 10 books, and I exceeded that by getting up to 13 books, which I was immensely proud of myself that I managed. I've never even gotten into double figures of books in a year before, so I'm super excited. So this year, I am going to raise the bar a little bit more than 10, and I'm just going to go to how many I read in the end last year, which is 13. So that is my target this year, to read 13 books. I've got a few books for Christmas, as I already said. I'm going to do a little video about them, but that video will probably come out this week as well, whilst it's all still fresh in the mind. And yeah, I'm super excited for my reading journey this year. As you all know, it's taken me quite a few years to get up even into this level. And you know, when you compare to Lauren, who reads like over 100 books a year, I mean, it's like, not that it's a competition at all, but I'm so happy that I'm now starting to enjoy my reading more, and I'm also starting to get into my audio books, which is great. And I've already started one, and I'm already halfway through. So I'm going to kick off the year nice and fast with getting my first book done and dusted. So there we go, 13 books. I think my plan is that if I exceed this limit this year, let's say, for example, I get to 15, then I think what I will just do, how many other books I read this year, I will just save that for the following year, because I don't want to set my bar too high. But if I can read 13 books again this year, I will be super pleased. It'll be amazing. And my final New Year resolution is just to keep up with this. I'm so glad that I got the chance to kind of almost restart my channel again, Because when I I started this back in, I think 2017, and then the first year I was pumping out videos quite regularly, and then I just stopped. I kind of almost got bored of it. I don't think I was like mentally like ready to do it and just to take on the task, because it is a big task to make all of these videos constantly. And then with the whole lockdown and furlough thing, it just gave me a chance to gradually build up my pace again. And then especially with doing Vlogmas, where I think I just missed out on the one video. So to make 23 videos in 24 days is absolutely insane. I don't know how anybody does it. I mean, bearing in mind that I pre-recorded a few of my videos and done it in advance, so we almost had some rolling. It was such hard work. And so I just kind of thought, if I'm going to take that into this year, there isn't the demand of putting out a video every day, I'm now really looking forward to carrying on my YouTube channel. I think I'm so much better prepared this time. And, we've got like a few more bits of equipment. I've got this cool little desk that I can now happily film in, because I think one of the big things is that I never really had my own like area to film in. I kind of just used the bookshelves. When I first started doing this, I just kind of sat in front of the books like Lauren, and I almost felt like I was copying her. And I think that kind of made me not want to do videos as much. So I was just like doing like, oh, well, she sits there, well, I'll sit there. Then there's just like, I wanted like my own, almost like identity for my channel. And now I think with all this, with all of my film stuff and bits and pieces like that, I feel a lot more comfortable. So I'm really excited for what this video is going to bring. I thought that was my last one, but it's not, is it? This is my last New Year resolution, and it's that I want to get better at editing. So in my job, I do quite a lot of video editing, and I definitely feel like my skills have improved along that front over the past couple of years. But what I want to get better at is kind of like the editing post video. So I want to try and add a few more bits in. I want to try and make like maybe even like a cool funky intro for my channel, and then like say, because I want to make this new series of mine, this like Beardy Pizza, I'd like to make a funky little intro for that, and maybe just add in a cool like few new effects and stuff. Like for one of my Vlogmas videos, when I went to Leeds Castle, I kind of added in like an overlay and made it a little bit funky, which I enjoyed doing. So I'm just watching Minnie's trying to like fall off of the bed. Yeah, I just want to like put a bit more effort into my post-production side of the videos, and then just see where that takes me. But that's going to be a very, very gradual process. That's not going to happen now. Like maybe every now and again I might try and throw something a bit funky in, and yeah, so we'll just see how that goes. And just for general like video plans for the future, I've got so many ideas written down for what I want to do. Like there's definitely going to be like more movie marathons this year. Along with the pizzas, I want to do a few more like cooking videos, because a lot of people seem to enjoy that. I'm going to bung in the odd quiz, because I do get a lot of people saying that they really enjoy doing them, and it gives them something to do to help distract them, even if for 20 minutes. And hopefully, like fingers crossed, who knows what this year's going to bring, but if we can start going outside and going to visit places again, I'd like to go to like a couple of theme parks this year, and then if we can go back to Leeds Castle for Christmas this year with the actual fair involved, and just like lots more vloggy things like that, because as soon as we can start going out again, we want to go out as of course everybody else in the world wants to do. But we've got lots of ideas and lots of cool fun things planned, and I'm definitely going to be doing Vlogmas again this year. So just in general, I'm really excited for the year ahead with regards to YouTube, and I'm excited to see what it might bring. So saying that, I shall end the video here, and I shall see you all next time in another video. Thanks for watching, everyone. See ya.